Hi everybody, today I am going to show you how to make this card. Just a fun little beachy card. This is one that I made in a class recently, and I have a couple of extra kits left, so I thought what a great opportunity to show you how to make this. So I'm going to move my screen down so you can see my table and get started. This is the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I opened it up. I'm putting in plate 1. I'm using plate number 4, and this is the embossing folder that I'll be using today. So my cardstock goes inside, and I want to make sure that this spline side goes in first. This plate on top, and just crank it through. Just like that. And out comes this piece of paper that is now embossed. Okay, putting this machine away, that is the only thing we needed to use this for today. Alright, let's get started. So, this piece of paper is embossed. The next thing we are going to do is stamping. So we have an envelope, we have a card base, we have this Tahitian Tide cardstock, and I have this smaller white cardstock. This is the piece that gets stamped today, and I'm starting with the Tahitian Tide ink. And this is the stamp set that I'm using, Oceanfront. So, and I'm using a stamp mat, a Stampin' Pierce mat. The reason I'm using a Stampin' Pierce mat is because these are photopolymer stamps. You can see through them. That means that they need the cushion of this mat when I stamp. So, I will just ink it up. Let's try to arrange things so that you can see what I'm doing here. Okay. Just a gentle tap, tap, tap. And this image gets adhered right here, just like this. And I'm pulling out a piece of scrap grid paper because I'm going to want to stamp off. The next stamping that we are going to do is with Sweet Sorbet. Both these two colors are in colors. They're the new this year in colors. So with this stamp, first I want to stamp off. That means I'm stamping off onto something else that isn't my project. Then I'm lining this up and I'm overlapping a little bit and adhering, applying my image. Then I'm stamping off again, and notice I stamped this way the first time. Now I'll turn that upside down and stamp the other direction. And one more time, stamp off, and I'm stamping. Now, where they overlap, it's a little bit darker, and that's on purpose. Then the next stamping is with Mango Melody ink. With this ink, I'm using this stamp that will act like a sun. And I'm going to go about midway down between these two colors, and I'm stamping full strength with that one. Full strength means that I did not stamp off first. So that's it for the stamping. Very simple, very quick. Now, that's not quite it for the stamping. That's it for those colors. Now I want to add a little bit of black element here. So my grass goes on in black. Okay, we can move these out of the way. So now I take this piece that we embossed earlier, and I take my liquid adhesive, and we're going to adhere the white piece to the cardstock that we embossed. So this white cardstock just gets a little bit of glue. If you watch me, you know that I like to do the liquid glue for this particular application, and I do all around the edges and a V in the middle. I get good full coverage this way. And then I'm just going to center my stamped piece. Okay, apply some pressure. Now I get my card base that's white here, and I'm going to repeat that same adhesive process. Just a small thin line around the edge, not too close, and the reason that I do it thin is because I don't want this glue to be oozing all over the place. So when I apply it to my piece, I just want this nice thin piece so that I can get coverage. And here we go, applying it. Apply some pressure. I like to turn it over and apply pressure from the back side so that it doesn't shift around. Now, it's coming along pretty quick, right? Next step is to stamp the word hello. I've already done this ahead of time. I used Sweet Sorbet cardstock and white cardstock, and I punched them out with this punch. And I stamped onto the white oval, and now I will use my liquid adhesive and just get a little bit of adhesive here just so that I can attach the hello oval to the Sweet Sorbet background oval, which is scalloped, that word that wouldn't come to me. Now, see where there's sort of a gap here? That will be covered with this, so nobody will even know that this piece isn't stamped straight across. But first, I want to add just a little bit of embellishment in the way of ribbon. So I have this ribbon. This is Tahitian Tide. It's kind of thin. It's just a really pretty, very sparkly ribbon. So I've cut a piece ahead of time, and my piece is just about the right length. Now I'm going to take each end, and I am purposely fraying them. Okay, hopefully you can get a pretty good idea here. Try to do this in such a way that you can see as much as possible. I'm just taking the ribbon and pulling it apart. Okay, I'm not going to go all the way into the middle with this, but I want to get the ends frayed. So there's this end. Move on down to this other end. Using my fingernails, I'm just pulling these fibers apart. Okay, just like this. Just a little bit more. Okay, now in order for me to get this to stay on my paper, I'm using a little glue dot. This happens to be a glue dot that comes with the Paper Pumpkin kit, and it's perfect for this type of application. So I take my glue dot, I'm going right into the middle of my piece of ribbon here. Just going to apply some pressure, get that glue dot in place, and now I'll peel off the backing just like this. Now I have a glue dot attached to this ribbon, and I will position it where I want it, just like this. I think that I'll cut off just a little bit of this ribbon, and now I want more of my ribbon to be attached to my cardstock, and so now I'll just take a touch of this liquid glue, but very small amount. I'm applying the glue directly to the ribbon, and I'm going to do a little spot here on this end. The reason that I didn't do that with the middle piece is because it's a little bit easier to control if I use that glue dot. So now my ribbon is in place. Now, dimensional adhesive, which is my friend, and I like to use it on just about every project. I will use one in this case. I've attached it to my piece, and I'm peeling off the backing. And now I will just put my my hello right here, and there we go. One thing left to be done, and that is to stamp my envelope. So I take my envelope, I get my black ink back out, get my grass stamp back out, and just apply one image there. Okay, so now here we go. We have an envelope, we have a card. You could stamp on the inside of your card if you want. Probably should have done that, but now I've already put it away, so I'm not going to go back to that. So that's pretty simple, right? I want to show you one other thing. This particular piece is an 8x8 shadow box. It used the same Oceanfront stamp set. Okay, this Oceanfront stamp set, along with a lighthouse set and a couple of other pieces, go together to create this pretty shadow box project. And this is going to be a class coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'll be talking about that. I'll be posting about it. I'll be showing you another project that we'll do in the same class. But since I'm showing you the Oceanfront stamp set for this card, it seemed like a good time to show you this project as well. So here we go. Okay, here's this card. It was easy to make. It came together really quick, and I think anybody can do that. But if you have any questions, let me know, because that's what I'm here for. Thanks for watching, and go check out my website so that you can do a little shopping. Have a good day. Bye-bye.